Hi guys, Spinosaurus Reviews here, and today I'm going to do a review on the CollectA 2021 Dilophosaurus. Yeah, so far I've only had it about a week, and I can definitely say it's one of the best CollectA theropods that I have in my collection at the moment. It's definitely the most scientifically accurate Dilophosaurus that you can get at the moment. There are a few little downsides to it, so we will get into those in the review. But overall it is a good figure, so let's get into it. We'll start with the head sculpt. So the head sculpt has been updated, so you've got the more scientifically accurate higher crests, and also you've got the notched jaw there as well, which has always been known for Dilophosaurus but very rarely represented for some reason by some companies. Obviously non-pronated wrists, they're starting to get this right, and the sort of tiny little fourth finger that they had that you can barely see. Colour scheme for this is great. I do really like the yellow and brown, and then the red for the head crest, but I think I would have liked the sort of brown markings to be lined with another colour to try and like sort of break it up a little bit. Only thing they're starting to do with these CollectA theropods is most of them do come with stands, which I'll admit I'm not a fan of the stands, but I'd prefer a stand than dinosaurs with oversized feet, which is just what this one's got. Basically to counteract the balancing issue that they can sometimes have, rather than giving them a stand, they're just giving them bigger feet to kind of spread the weight out, which is not really the best way to go. I know a lot of people don't like stands, myself included, but I'd rather a stand than, you know, an in-proportioned animal at the end of it. Because now that the feet are oversized, the legs look too skinny. So the legs are in proportion with the body, but the feet aren't. So the legs look way too skinny compared to the rest of the animal now, which is the only downside. It stands perfectly fine, but I think that small downsize of the feet for just a tiny little stand, it doesn't have to be an oversized stand, just a tiny little stand with some rocks and a little bit of foliage on it, just to break that up, it can still look really good on a shelf. I've got a few CollectA dinosaurs on stands. I've got the Irritator, the Rajasaurus, and the Metriacanthosaurus, which all have stands, and they look perfectly fine on display with my other theropods that don't have stands. But their feet are all in proportion because they have stands to stand on. Really like the scoots going down the spine of this one. Unlike their Allosaurus from a couple years earlier, these ones don't look too big. These ones look just in proportion with the rest of the body. They've got the arms tucked away nicely. I really like the positioning of the arms on this one. I really like the whole stance of this one, to be honest. The tail, perfect length and flexible as well, so it's not a rigid statue figure. The only problem with these softer figures is if you were to keep them in a box, their legs can flex, so when you bring them back out of storage, they're probably not going to be able to stand, which is a big downside to these figures. The eye doesn't have a pupil, unfortunately, which I think can take away a lot of life from a figure. I think that added pupil just brings the whole thing to life, and they have tried to put a gloss coating on it to kind of give a shiny effect, but that lack of a pupil just doesn't really work for me. They've done the mouth pretty well. There's very little paint spill on the top. There's quite a bit on the bottom, unfortunately, but you do get that with these like smaller molded figures where their teeth are tiny. You just really can't help the paint bleeding. They've got the dew claw obviously represented, which is nice, but as I said, the feet are just oversized. But other than that, the model's great. You can't really see the CollectA logo either when it's on its side. You can just see the outlining of it there, but it's not too intrusive when it's on the shelf. Obviously, I really like the underside as well, being white all the way through the base of the tail. And yeah, they've really captured this early Jurassic theropod. You know, it's the most scientifically accurate one we've got today, and unfortunately, CollectA's main sort of prehistoric animal line guy, Jonathan something, I'm really sorry, I forgot his last name, but he was an expert in paleo art and paleo imagery, and he approved pretty much every prehistoric animal that CollectA do to date, which is a shame. But yeah, I'm really sorry, I can't remember his last name. It began with a B. But yeah, I'm really glad he was able to approve of this one before he passed away, because without him we wouldn't have most of them that we have now today. So yeah, it's a really beautiful figure overall. I really like this as well. The little double row of scoots that start from the head and then bleed into one, which I think is a really cool feature, which I really do like. So yeah, overall it's a good figure. Few downsides, but most figures do these days. You very rarely find a figure that is a 10 out of 10, perfect, nothing wrong with it. They've all got little flaws that someone somewhere will be able to find. Obviously it's nowhere near the Jurassic Park Dilophosaurus, because that one is completely not accurate to science. They didn't have a frill, they couldn't spit venom. You know, that's... So if you're looking for something towards that kind of Dilophosaurus, you're barking up the wrong tree. You want to be looking at Mattel or Papo, really. You're not really going to get that from someone like CollectA or Safari that strive for more scientifically accurate dinosaurs. So yeah, that was my review on the 2021 Dilophosaurus. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. Bye.